Again. This time we're going to explore Kanem Bornu and its long, varied history across a millennium. We will begin with al-Yaqubi, providing one of the earliest known references to Kanem in the external Arabic writings. Let's begin. The Sudan who went to the west traversed several countries and created several kingdoms. The first of their kingdoms is that of the Zagawa, who live in the place called Kanem. Their dwellings are huts made of reeds, and they have no towns. Their king is called Kakra. Among the Zagawa is a group called al-Hwidin, Hwdn, who have a king who is from among the Zagawa. Then there is another kingdom of a people called Malal, who hate the king of Kanem. Their king is called Mwisi, Mywsy. Then there is the kingdom of Al-Habash, who have a town called Thbyr. The king of this town is called Mrh. We're not sure how to pronounce these terms. Adjacent to them are the Kaku, but they are not independent, and their ruler is the king of Thbyr. So this brief account from al-Yaqubi clearly establishes a relationship between early Kanem and the so-called Zagawa. While Zagawa as an ethnic group exists to this day in Sudan and Chad, semi-nomadic Nilo-Saharan speaking peoples, back then in medieval Arabic sources, Zagawa almost becomes a broad term for any nomadic, semi-nomadic, quote-unquote black Saharan or Sahelian population. But this clearly establishes a link between early Kanem from the 9th century to branches of semi-nomadic or nomadic Saharan Sahelian peoples. It's also interesting in that al-Yaqubi's account claims that the kingdom of Kanem has no towns. This could be a reflection of the fact that many of their population were still nomadic and were shifting around. He also provides one of the earliest identifications for a king of Kanem, Kakra, or Kakrh. And then this, I don't believe, could be corroborated in the Diwan of Kanem Borno sultans and kings, or Mais, but it's an interesting early historical reference to Kanem and its monarchy. Unfortunately, his account is too brief to offer too much of use, but it clearly, again, establishes that Kanem was known in North Africa and the Middle East, and that the people there were seen as being Zagawa. So this is almost certainly a reference to that early stage of Kanem when it was perhaps more of a confederation of nomadic groups in and around the north and east of Lake Chad, and perhaps a reference to the fact that Kanem was still consolidating as a state and becoming more sedentary around the northeastern shores of Lake Chad. Thank you. We will stop our reading from the corpus of early Arabic sources for West African history here today.